50 Cent just taught a valuable lesson to all media professionals, and he also taught a lesson to the clients that we serve. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to share this video with you guys because it covers a topic that I have actually been discussing for the past few years, and that topic specifically is on licensing and usage for media content. 50 Cent recently created a documentary that's been released on Netflix, and the documentary is about Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever it is you choose to call him today. But he released a documentary. Now, I'm going to say this. I watched all 4 parts of the documentary, and as far as the documentary itself, I think it's really good. Now, I'm not talking about from the aspect of this is right or that's wrong. I'm saying just the production of it. But something that made it stick out to me even more was the footage that was used from some scenes in a hotel room with Sean Combs when he's talking to his lawyer. He actually had a videographer with him that was recording a lot of the stuff. Now, a lot of the footage that was used is from old media clips and stuff like that, but there's a lot of footage in here which I think tied everything together that really made it a powerful documentary. Now, there were some things that came out in the media about Sean Combs' team. They were trying to sue Netflix or sue 50 or whatever, saying that the content was, I guess, received illegally or whatever, or used illegally, whatever it is. But this goes back to something that I have shared for a long time, and that is when we talk about copyright and usage for video and photography. Now, this is probably gonna be a short video because I'm gonna say this. There's no way that 50, Netflix, and whomever would have been able to use some of this content if Sean Combs had purchased exclusive rights to the footage that was being recorded. Now, we've talked about this before. When it comes to photos and videos, unless the client purchases exclusive rights, the photographer, the videographer, the person who created the content still owns the right to that media. Right? They do. They created the media. It is what it is. Now, typically what happens is they will grant said client rights to use the media in their contracts or whatever. And look, we're going way out here thinking that he even had a contract in place for this because his world got turned upside down shortly after all this stuff was recorded. So maybe he didn't have time to really put all that in place. Maybe he made some promises he didn't keep. I don't know. I'll let you guys come up with that for yourself. But there's no way that the footage would have been able to use without his permission if he had purchased exclusive rights to the video, photos, etc. That's just common practice in media. So I said all that to say we have to be careful with how we are approaching our clients, how we're presenting our work. We have to be forthright in presenting information to our clients so that they understand what their rights are as a client, what our rights are as a studio or creative, so that there's no mix-ups that could happen like this. Guys, honestly, stuff like this could happen on a daily basis because I know for a fact that a lot of people really don't have their contracts ironclad like they should. And that, again, is from the creative standpoint and from the photographer standpoint. Something else that I want to mention, too, for all of my creatives, my photographers, my videographers that are out here, you in the hustle, you in the grind, you're doing stuff for people, you know, people have you following them around with cameras and different things like that. That's all good. But you're going to get to a point, and you should get to this point early in your career, where it's no longer about the exposure that you're going to get. You got to start putting mechanisms in place to protect yourself, because if there are no agreements that have been made or there's nothing in writing, and if you're dealing with the right client, they might strong arm you for the footage, even if there is nothing in writing that's saying they have exclusive rights to it, because you haven't taken the time yourself as a creative to really understand what your rights are, what your ownership rights are, and what you can do in certain situations. So when I do my contracts, I always try to do the best of both worlds for not only myself, but for my client, and also make sure that I spell everything out so that they can understand exactly what's coming out of this contract and what should be expected. But again, nothing, you know, and of course, I don't have any documents in front of me and that I can read and go through. But just from doing this for over 25 years, guys, I know that if there was an agreement made, if Sean Combs had purchased the rights to that video footage that was being recorded, if he had purchased exclusive rights, and what exclusive rights means is that even the photographer or videographer doesn't even have rights to those media assets anymore. If he had done that, then there was no way that Netflix would have been able to let this air without his permission. So I'm pretty much guaranteeing that it wasn't done. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that, have you seen the documentary? What were your thoughts on the documentary? And what are your thoughts on this copyright issue? All right, I'll check in with you guys later. Take care.